Hi guys, I thought I would just make a video to give you a few tips on running. A few people have asked me about it and I thought this is a really good time when a lot of people probably want to try different forms of exercise because they're not going to the gym anymore. And this is something that totally changed my life. Before I was 30, I was terrible at running. My friend would do laps of running a park and come back to me because I would just walk. It just wasn't something that I thought I could physically do. And then I started running at 30 and completely changed my life, and I just absolutely love it. And even some of my friends who do run say they don't enjoy it. So I'm not just giving you tips on being able to run, I'm also going to tell you how to find ways to love it a lot and look forward to doing it. So the first main thing for me is music. You've got to find music that really makes you feel good and makes you want to move. For me, that's musical soundtracks, boy bands, Linkin Park actually, and I really go with my mood. So what I'm feeling at the time, sometimes something slower works better. But yeah, not just a good beat, but something that makes you feel good, like heart-centered music is really good for running. The second thing is technique. Now, I picked up some tips from a professional sprinter. One of my boyfriends is a professional sprinter. I was part of a running club for a while, so I got a lot of tips from people who ran marathons all the time. And I read a book called Born to Run, which I highly recommend. And so most people, we run heel, toe, but actually the way we're supposed to run is toe, heel, heel. Like ball, heel. It feels really weird at first, but it's basically just like you're jogging on the spot. So when we jog on the spot, we actually go on the balls of our feet as opposed to the other way around. That would feel weird. So it feels really weird at first to be running forward like that. I remember when I was first doing it, I was like, this feels really strange. But eventually it starts to feel normal. And it actually makes you so much faster, and it makes running much easier because we actually are built in with a suspension. So if you hit the right spot on the ball, it actually makes you spring up. So you're like boing, boing, boing. And you don't have to put in as much effort. It makes it so much easier. So another tip actually is if you pretend you're throwing darts at your toes as you're running, and that also helps with leaning sort of more forward rather than like running back like this. So if you're pretending that you're throwing darts at your toes as you go, it helps with like the full technique from head to toe. The next one is your route. So ideally, and this is not always possible, but find somewhere near you that makes you feel really good inside. So nature is a big one. Parks, the beach is my favorite, running along the water, oh my goodness. But also running in the city feels really good for me as well. At night, if the lights are up on the buildings, that makes me feel really good. So yeah, finding an environment that's going to complement the music and the physical feeling and all the feelings together. The next one is sort of attitude, what we focus on when we run. So I use it as a sort of meditation. A lot of the time it's honestly just feels like I'm dancing in the street as I'm running because I'm all caught up in the music. But sometimes when it's a bit rough, I might have negative thoughts going on in my head. So I'm just aware of them. I just observe them, don't judge them, and then keep coming back to the practice of running. And something that also helps is gratitude. So I'll look around at my environment and say thank you to the trees and thank you for the beautiful sky, the clouds, whatever's around you, the buildings. With the buildings, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe humans made those. They're so big. So that really helps a lot. Another thing is that when I first started running, I used to feel a bit disheartened when people would speed past me. I'd be like, oh, I suck, I'm so slow. But I realized that negative thought was like killing my energy. So when people would run by me, I actually thought to myself, you go girl, or you go boy, sort of imagining that we're on the same team. And it completely changed that moment for me. I actually ended up feeling a surge of energy with that thought rather than feeling deflated. So that really helps too. And then that brings me to the last one, which is speed. Go slow. I'm actually still really slow after running for 10 years because I just focus on it feeling good and enjoying it rather than trying to be fast or make a time. I don't even know how many kilometers I do. I just go for, sort of like 20 to 30 minutes, and then sometimes I end up going for ages if it feels really good. Sometimes if I don't have much time, I'll just run for 15 minutes just so that you break a sweat. It makes you feel so much better. It just wakes up your body. So go slow. It's not a race. Enjoy the process. And that's it, really. Enjoy running. It's the best.